the child starts walking, crawling, and child is stopped. The environment should be so prepared that the child should not be stopped, but things should not hurt or harm. If you know there is a switchboard or a socket there, try to cover it up instead of shouting at the child every time. Do not crawl over there. Child understands you, but you have to understand the child also. Child is moving out of nature's order, the inner urge for movement. And why that movement? For his physical development as well as his mental development. Because if there is no movement, there will be no mental development also. Hands are the tools of intelligence. It is through the hands that the child will develop and mold his own personality. But if the environment is such that child is not allowed to do anything, then the mental level of that child is affected. All the time you want the child to be a good child and just sit with you. He may sit under pressure, but it is not beneficial for his development. We have to understand that the child has to become an independent person. And this example Marie Montessori is relating from nature. How the parent animals will slow down when they are walking. If you will see the herds of animals, the mother will separate from the child and slow down its pace for the child to develop and come up to that level. So for that, we have to adjust to the needs of the child. You have to adapt yourself also. It is not only the child who has to do all the adjustment, the adults have to also be involved in that progress. Although we verbally say we love our child, but what effort are we doing for that? How much preparation we are doing for that level of the child? Child's needs are different at every level. The newborn's needs are different. At 1 year it will be different. At 3 years it will be different. And what are the adults doing for that? They have to adjust to that environment. They have to adjust to their needs. By the time the child is 2.5, he has to survive in the home environment. The Montessori environment, although parents always give an impression that it will be a frightening place, teacher will scold you, you have to do this, you have to do this, then the impression is there. But once the child settles in the school, then he is free to do which activity he wants to do in the Montessori environment. The Montessori environment is well prepared for the age of 2.5 to 5.5, 6 years. It should be a mixed age group. There should be a variety of exercises. The setup is such that there are plenty of windows, there is enough space, and the child is allowed to handle the apparatus. The material is on display. Tables and chairs are low and easy to handle, light colors so the dust can be seen, and children should be involved. In Marie Montessori set up the school, she had small tables and chairs which the children could handle. They would take them outside, outdoors also, work on them, and then bring them back and put them back in their place. It was easy, but some of the visitors who visited Casa di Bambini, they thought that we should give better quality furniture to the school. So they provided marble top tables and very heavy fine wood, but for the children they had no attraction because it was so heavy the children could not move it at their own convenience. They were becoming dependent on the environment. So after that, Marie Montessori selected small, easy handling chairs and tables which children could handle. The material in previous days was all packed up. It was kept in cupboards. Think of the time of Casa di Bambini more than 100 years ago. The things were kept in cupboards, and at the end of the day, these cupboards were locked. So one day, the teacher forgot to lock the cupboard. Maybe she was not well or something and she did not come the next day. So when the children came in the morning, they saw that the cupboard was unlocked. They went to the cupboard, they took out the objects and they started working. Some of the older children helped in distributing the material to the younger ones. They would finish their work and come back. And at the end of the day, nothing was broken, nothing was spoiled. The children had worked and they put the material back as it was in the cupboard. Next day when the teacher came and the children told her that they had worked with the material, the teacher was very angry. She said, this is not the right way to touch anybody's things. And the children were surprised. And Maria Montessori heard of this incident. She told the teacher that they have not broken anything, they have not stolen anything, so why are you angry with them? This material is for the use of the children. And at that time she took the decision that the material will not be locked in cupboards anymore. She arranged for the shelves where the material was displayed. The children could select their own material and work at their own pace. They were not forced to do anything. But the criteria then when he is ready for the next presentation. In the Montessori system, we do not have the separate classrooms for every year. The prepared environment is an environment which has a mixed age group. You can have children from 2.5 right up to the age of 5.5, 6 years, because they are learning from each other. For the older children, when they see the younger ones doing the exercises, they recall what they have done. It is a revision and at the same time they are moving ahead. For the younger ones, the older ones are acting like helpers. They guide the younger ones. So it is an environment which gives a family, in the family also they are young and old children, and the child is also experiencing that. So the prepared environment is one of the 3 important factors of the Montessori system. It is controlled by the directress, she will care for it, she will maintain it, and she will form the link between the teaching aids provided in the Montessori environment. It is all the apparatus that we use, but child cannot do in a proper way unless he is guided. The material is there, the teacher is there, and the child should be guided by the teacher for the maximum benefit. So to give maximum benefit, the environment should be well maintained, it should be orderly, it should be clean, and it should be welcoming. Maria Montessori even says that if there are too many adults, then children do not get the freedom to move about independently. So adults should not be interfering with the child. They should be in the background and the child should be able to act independently. He should be able to focus his attention on the material and work. So the Montessori has the 3 basic factors: the child, the directress, and the prepared environment, which are all closely interlinked, and each one has a special place. It is like an equilateral triangle, no side is more or less. They are all equally important, and if you handle the child carefully, then it is a successful personality.
No souvenirs. Okay, so let us all sit up straight, because look at you, if your camera turns around, camera, can you turn around? Camera, and just see, not a very graceful body language where we are attending and conducting a professional teachers training workshop. So whenever that happens, the rule is that let's sit up straight. Can you do that? Sit up straight. That means your backbone needs to be straightened up. And put your 2 feet down. Both feet should be touching the ground. No cross legs. And I am requesting everybody to do that. And then take a deep breath. And I didn't say to release. Just take a deep breath and hold on to your breath. And bouncing them. So let's hold our arms, sit up straight now, and now release your breath. How do you feel? In 1907, and it was in that school when Maria Montessori started off with 60 children who came from very poor families, uneducated background. They were scared, they were not confident, they were not healthy. And what did she bring with her? An assistant teacher, few of the material, the sensorial apparatus that she had worked with the special children, some EPL, and the most important thing she brought with her was herself. She, being a doctor, she had this unique ability of observing. And as the school opened and each day the children began to come to school and they started working, Dr. Montessori started to observe, make notes, and then finally she made the discoveries. What are some of the discoveries? Please note down these as point-wise. You don't have to write anything except the heading. The very first observation and discovery Dr. Maria Montessori made in her first school, Casa di Bambini, was that the repetition of exercises. What was it? The repetition of exercises, which we even have today in all over the world, in all Montessori system. Even in your classroom, your teacher, after giving the presentation, tells you, let the child repeat for as long as he likes. And a little incident that is so simply shared by Dr. Maria Montessori. She says that one of the very first thing I noticed in one of the school, that I saw a little girl of age 3, and she was working with the cylinder blocks. Now, how many of you have seen what the cylinder block is like? And tomorrow you will see it in the sensorial presentation. It's a block with sockets and cylinders. Dr. Maria noticed that this little girl was working with the cylinder by taking it out and putting it back in the socket again and again and again. And from out of habit, being a doctor, having the instinct to observe, she said, let me see if this girl is actually working with so much deep and profound concentration, or is she just pretending to be very busy? From the time Dr. Maria Montessori started to count, this little girl took out and replaced the cylinder into the socket 42 times. Now 42 times. Who in today's world will allow rotation? So let's distract the child. So she asked the teacher and the rest of the children to sing and clap around the child. But that did not disturb the child. It was as if the child didn't hear the clapping. Then she decided to check. What she did, the little girl who was just 3 years old, she was working with the cylinder, taking it out, putting it back. Dr. Maria Montessori lifted the entire chair and put it on the table. And do you know what the girl did? She should have stopped, but she did not. She was not disturbed. She was not distracted. She continued with the activity. And then, suddenly for no reason, this girl stopped. So this was one of the very first observations Dr. Maria Montessori made, that when small children are working with an activity, and if there is no distraction around them, if there is no obstacle, no adult is interfering, the child will continue working for as long as he likes. And then suddenly for no obvious reason, the children will stop. That child stopped. After taking it out 42 times, it must have been more than that, because she started counting from afterwards. Dr. Montessori says that this gave us the first insight into the mind of the child. How it is able to focus on constructive activity, and they will repeat and repeat and repeat. And then after when the child stopped, she also observed and noticed something very interesting, very unique, very different from us adults. That after doing so much activity, the child's face was fresh, as if she just woke up from a sleep, a restful sleep. Her eyes was glowing and glittering, and there was a lovely smile on the face. What about us adults? Do we look fresh after doing some work? Look, after listening to 3 lectures, you were looking a little dull and tired. But not the child. Oh no! For the child, work is life. Work is energy. And work gives the child the stamina to become focused on an activity. Later on, such similar things kept reoccurring. One day, Dr. Montessori saw the hands of the children. They were very dirty. She decided that I should show the child how to wash hands. So she gave a very simple example, a lesson to all the children that this is the way to wash your hands. After that, she noticed the children were washing their hands all the time. As soon as they came to school, before going home, the mothers started to complain, what have you taught the children? As soon as they come home from school, they wash their hands. As soon as they get up in the morning, they wash their hands. And they wash their hands again and again. What could be the reason for that? Why do we wash our hands? Why do we wash our hands? Because our hands are dirty. So how many times did we wash our hands? Maybe just once, and if it's very dirty, twice. The aim of our washing hand is external. We wash it because we want to make our hands clean. Why do children wash their hands?
They want to work.
Because the aim for their washing hand is internal. They just
don't have any satisfaction.
It is not real. The child wants to extract impression from real activity. Plus, toys do not give the children any motive for activity. They do not get to use their hands. There is a remote control car. So you press the remote and the child car is moving. You wind the key and the monkey begins to hit the drum. And the child is amused and he watches. But he wants to do something with the hand. So after being amused and enjoying the action of the toy, he wants to take the toys apart. So he breaks up the car, not destroy it. He wants to discover, he wants to use his hand. And the battery and the wheel and the steering wheel is all torn apart. And what do? We scold him, we punish him. And we say that you are banned from playing. Next time we are not going to give you any toys. But the child is happy inside. Thank you so much. Because for me, that is not important. For me, my work is to work with the real activity. That is the EPA that you saw yesterday. So, repetition of exercise, free choice. Children do not like to play with toys for a long time. Notice that now, and it is a universal fact. Then Dr. Montessori made yet another fascinating discovery that most people don't agree with. Even today, all directors are always confused and they say, okay, maybe this is not a correct discovery of Dr. Montessori. And that is, rewarding and punishing the child has no effect on the child's personality. Can that be possible? We get very good result when you at home punish the child and make him sit in a corner. We believe that he becomes well behaved. We get very good result when we reward the child. You have done this, auntie is going to give you some candy. Isn't that so? Tell me, that is the children we know in school and at home. They love to be rewarded and we love to punish them. We like to punish them more because it doesn't cost anything. Rewarding, giving them things, that is less. An incident that was witnessed by Dr. Maria Montessori in first Casa di Bambini has made the part of the system that there is no reward and punishment in the Montessori system. You must understand why. One day she entered the Montessori classroom and she saw a little boy sitting all by himself in a chair, away from the rest of the classroom. And he was wearing a big pendant with a star, and he was looking around the classroom with a very pleasant smile. Dr. Maria Montessori asked the assistant teacher, why is this child sitting all by himself? And the assistant teacher, very proudly and with strict discipline, she said, oh, he was disturbing the entire class, so I have punished him. I have isolated him from the rest of the class and he is being punished. Then Dr. Maria Montessori said, if he is being punished, then why is wearing this big star that is given to children who are rewarded? So the assistant teacher went on to explain, oh madam, this pendant was given to another child who was doing such beautiful work. I had put it around his neck, but as he was doing the coloring, the star was distracting him. It was a source of disturbance. So he took it out and he went and put it in the neck of the child who was sitting by himself. What does this prove to you? The child who was rewarded, that star had no meaning, no value. The small children has no value for rewards like that. He was busy with the work. And the child who was being punished, he was sitting down so happily. If we punish an adult, don't you feel shame? Don't you feel guilty? That he loves to work, he loves order, there is deep and profound concentration, there is an inner discipline, he loves to complete an activity and never leave it incomplete. He knows that there is a place for a thing and a thing in its place. He is confident, and the discoveries she made, when she discovered the new child, she discovered the new human being. And today that child is lost once again. We as Montessorian, let us go back in time. Let us look at with the eyes of Dr. Maria Montessori. And let us do our observation and rediscovery of the true child as has been given to us by Dr. Maria Montessori. Thank you so much. And I mean that. It's a very big statement I'm making. We are nothing beyond LMI. And senior teacher, Mrs. Bajit, she says, anybody can give you money, but the respect that is given to us in an LMI, only that can be given in LMI. And this is a priceless thing for us. So, the people behind our respect, our growth, our being Montessorian, Dashamim, बस सबके दिल से तो वही निकलती होगी, that may God bless them with health, happiness, prosperity and growth of the Montessori system. And what else can I say? It's all from the heart, from all of us. So let's welcome them. They're there, and it's nice to see Mrs. Shamim in orange because of the merging. What happens when you finish with yellow? You end up with the color orange, and there are lots of oranges, and the combination with the yellow and purple. Well, maybe we are, Sir Shamim is always ahead of time, like Dr. Maria Montessori. So tomorrow is going to be pink and combinations of purple, and he is well prepared.